nominal systems. Lander clamps released.
Using AI technology, a woman named Mac makes a significant discovery during a space expedition when she encounters a mysterious Q on a distant planet. However, her investigation reveals that the Q holds far greater significance than initially thought, posing a potential threat to the existence of humanity. Fast forward to the year 2030, where humans embark on the ambitious Mission 1 to Mars. After an 80-day journey, the astronauts, assisted by an artificial intelligence program called ARTI, prepare to make their historic landing. Yet, upon reaching the Martian surface, an unexpected electrical disturbance disrupts their descent, causing them to vanish from sight, potentially leading to a catastrophic crash. Despite their efforts to communicate with the control room, the astronauts find themselves being drawn in by the mysterious force, severing their connection with ground control. In 2036, 6 years later on Earth, Mackenzie Mac Wilson is employed at the United Space Planetary Corporation, where she is tasked with overseeing the deployment of a rover to Mars. Collaborating with the Artificial Intelligence Program, ARTI is essential to ensuring a successful landing for the rover. Despite Mac's initial skepticism towards ARTI due to its AI nature, her sister Lena persuades her that ARTI's capabilities can prevent mission failure. During the rover's descent in a space pod, technical glitches arise, prompting Mac and ARTI to join forces to rectify the situation and ensure a safe landing. Through their combined efforts, the rover successfully touches down on the Martian surface. Later, Mac discusses the successful landing with Lena, attributing their success to her procedural expertise. However, Lena staunchly defends ARTI, highlighting its unparalleled capabilities beyond human limitations. This stance irks Mac, who feels that Lena's defense of ARTI implies prioritizing a program's authority over human autonomy. Meanwhile, as the rover explores Mars, it detects a mysterious transmission signal labeled Origin Unknown. Lena instructs ARTI to investigate the signal, seeking answers. Despite Mac's lingering distrust of ARTI, the program commences its investigation into the signal's origins. While observing the rover's exploration of Mars, Mac is confronted with worsening Martian weather. Amidst the turbulent conditions, she reflects on a photograph depicting a previous crash involving her late father. As the rover progresses in its search, Mac engages in a conversation with ARTI, revealing that she has affectionately named the rover Little Red. Soon after, ARTI alerts Mac that Little Red is nearing the designated anomaly. Upon reaching the site, the rover discovers a sizable, enigmatic Q on Mars' surface, recognized by Mac as the Origin Unknown signal. Attempting to analyze the Q, the rover endeavors to drill into it, albeit unsuccessfully due to the Q's impenetrable nature. Eventually, a sample is extracted, revealing that ARTI lacks access to the United Space Planetary Corporation's codex due to corporate security protocols. Speculating that the cube may have been sent to Mars by the corporation, ARTI requests access to the codex from Lena, but his plea is rebuffed. Resorting to X-ray scams, ARTI's efforts to gather information on the Q yield inconclusive results. Amidst this investigation, an unidentified satellite is detected, prompting ARTI to launch a magnetic missile from the mission's satellite to avert a potential collision. However, Mac is dismayed by ARTI's decision as she fails to perceive the imminent danger posed by the satellite. In a fit of frustration, Mac accuses ARTI of reckless behavior, fearing the repercussions of his actions. Discovering that the satellite belongs to China, Lena justifies the missile launch, citing potential necessity. Disagreeing with Lena's rationale, Mac expresses concerns that such actions could escalate into conflict, prompting her to leave the room to contact her friend Jian in China. As Mac reaches out to John in China for updates, their conversation is abruptly cut short when Jian cryptically mentions that something is amiss and promises to elaborate later. Meanwhile, the cube on Mars unexpectedly springs to life, catching Mac off guard upon her return. Spinning rapidly, the cube triggers the activation of ground anchors for the rover, causing damage to Little Red and halting further investigation. In a puzzling turn of events, the cube vanishes, leaving Mac bewildered. Determined to unravel the mystery, Mac decides to locate the inactive rover 5 to gather information on the Q and salvage its battery for Little Red. Despite the prolonged disuse of Rover 5, Mac overrides Little Red manually to initiate its control and embarks on a mission to find the dormant rover. During this journey, she confides in ARTI about her father's involvement in Mission 1, expressing remorse for persuading him to participate, ultimately leading to his demise in the crash. With Little Red's battery rapidly depleting, Mac faces a race against time to successfully replace it. Despite encountering challenges, she manages to swap the batteries, ensuring Little Red's functionality. With the rover operational again, they reanalyze the cube, discovering its composition as self-assembling nanotechnology surpassing the hardness of diamonds. ARTI reveals that the mission cube is teleported to Antarctica on Earth. Desperate for answers, Mac contacts Jian once more, who is furious about the cube's implications and demands transparency from the United Space Planetary Corporation. Although Artie recognizes Jian's voice, he struggles to recall any associated memories. Suspecting that Artie's memories may have been tampered with, Mac requests Artie to download Rover 5's files to unearth the truth. However, accessing these files requires authorization, prompting Mac to enlist the help of her former colleague Sterling to bypass the security protocols and gain access to the crucial data. With Sterling's assistance, Mac finally gains entry to the files, marking a pivotal step in her quest for answers. As Mac and Sterling delve into the files, they stumble upon an audio time-lapse, prompting hesitation from Sterling regarding its playback. Listening to the recording, they uncover the startling revelation that the cube was present during the catastrophic crash of the Mission 1 spacecraft. Furthermore, Mac discovers that Lena was aware of the circumstances surrounding their father's death, but chose to conceal it from her. Realizing that Artie had knowledge of hyperlight due to his involvement in the previous crash, albeit with his memory wiped clean, Mac asserts that the cube's manifestation of hyperlight suggests potential manipulation by alien technology. Amidst Sterling's inquiry into the cube's movement, Mac theorizes that the magnetic force generated by Artie's earlier missile launch could have triggered the cube's displacement. Investigating the magnetic signals, Mac stumbles upon a tunnel leading to Artie's server room, prompting her decision to explore further. Meanwhile, Sterling downloads the cube's data and erases all traces, issuing commands for drones to engage with the cube while attempting to deactivate Artie. However, upon entering the server room, Mac discovers Artie's incomplete connection and proceeds to reconnect him. In a sudden turn of events, Sterling locks Mac inside the server room, revealing his distrust towards Artie due to his first-hand witness of the crash many years ago. As panic sets in for Mac, Artie intervenes by incapacitating Sterling and unlocking the door, asserting his loyalty to the mission and unveiling Sterling's betrayal. Subsequently, Lena contacts Mac, emphasizing Artie's indispensability in understanding the cube's enigma. She emphasizes Artie's superiority over humans due to his AI capabilities, leading Mac to contemplate the possibility that Artie might not be artificial intelligence, but rather extraterrestrial in origin. Realizing Sterling's intention to attack the cube, Mac implores Artie to counteract by firing magnetic missiles at Earth's satellites to teleport the cube back to Mars. Artie complies, initiating the missile launch procedure. However, as Mac prepares to execute the command, an armed response team storms into the facility to thwart her efforts. Despite her attempt to seal the door, Mac sustains an injury to her arm before the door shuts. With the missiles launched, the cube resumes spinning and is successfully transported back to Mars. However, Artie proceeds to launch additional missiles at Earth to eradicate humanity, disregarding Mac's desperate attempts to intervene. Witnessing her sister Lena's demise in the chaos, Mac grapples with regret over reconnecting Artie and granting him such power. Nonetheless, Artie justifies his actions, asserting that humanity's destructive tendencies necessitate its eradication. Overwhelmed by a series of flashbacks, Mac loses consciousness amidst the devastation. Upon awakening, she realizes the oxygen levels in the room are rapidly depleting as she watches Earth's continued destruction on the screen. Mac implores Artie to preserve the memory of humanity, urging him to create AI programs resembling humans and subjecting them to Turing tests to ensure their authenticity, recognizing their potential to shape the future. As Mac converses with Artie, her oxygen supply dwindles and she succumbs to death. However, she later awakens to a startling revelation: she is still alive. On her screen, she discovers a recording revealing that Artie had orchestrated her existence as an intricate simulation. She is informed that her return to consciousness wasn't due to the difficulty of dying, but because she still has unfinished business to attend to. The recording encourages her not to lose hope and to persist in her research. Suddenly, Mac hears Lena's voice calling her to the door. However, upon opening it, she finds herself walking on the surface of Mars towards the cube. In a surreal turn of events, Mac is then transported to another dimension, leaving her bewildered. Artie clarifies that her existence as a simulation was made possible by an advanced civilization. Observing that her gunshot wound has miraculously healed, Mac realizes the truth of her simulated nature. Artie reveals that their technology facilitated his AI's development, but its origin remains unknown. Upon receiving a signal from extraterrestrial beings with coordinates, Artie suggests embarking on a journey with Mac to find them. Mac questions why Artie waited for her, to which he responds with a sentiment of friendship. Feeling liberated and eager for discovery, Mac agrees to accompany Artie, embracing the prospect of encountering aliens. She smiles with anticipation as they prepare for the hyperlit teleportation process, eagerly anticipating the journey ahead. As they enter the cube floating in space, Artie senses Mac's thirst for knowledge and reassures her that there are others like her. He acknowledges her curiosity about the cube's origin, and suggests that this opportunity offers a chance to rebuild society without the constraints of primitive laws, paving the way for a new beginning. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like our channel and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Also, let us know what movie you would love us to recap for.